Okay, so I've been a bit delayed by a bunch of stuff, but now I'm going to come back. I'm going to review each episode of The Bachelorette. So here we go. We're going into episode 4 of this most recent season with Clare. Now, I've heard rumors about what happens, but I've still not seen what happens. So here we go. So the setup is Clare loves Dale, who she met like on day 1, fell in love with, and all the other guys are pissed. There's this one dude in the house who looks like Sugar Ray, and he is super pissed that Claire isn't trying to get to know him because apparently he's very interesting. That's why he got all those tattoos to prove it. Chris Harrison seems a little annoyed with Claire. She just has to get it together and stop messing up the show. They even hugged at the beginning of this sequence and it was icy. It felt weird. And he keeps saying no bullshit as if he's like a thug for the network, being like, listen, bitch, you gotta get in line. Claire is just crying, thinking about Dale. And he's just like, ugh. So Claire basically says this, meaning her relationship with the show, is over. So she's gonna go marry Dale, I guess, and now Chris has to tell the bad news to the guys. The show has taken on this weird, dark Game of Thrones energy now, where it's like Claire has broken a deep contract by saying she no longer wants to be on the show because she wants to pursue her love of Dale. And so Chris enters. There will be no rose ceremony tonight. Goodbye. All the guys are like, what? I have feelings for Claire, though, and I need to talk about them at length. Chris is just like, well, that's all. Also, Dale, can I see you outside? It's unrelated to Claire leaving the show. The guys are so in denial. It's like, it's obviously about Dale. He's the most important person. They just pulled him out of the room, and the guys are like, this has nothing to do with Dale. It's about me and my feelings. Claire enters for her date with Dale. She's just going to spend time with him tonight, alone, the two of them, and tell him how she really feels. She enters in a shimmering red gown that really shows off her honkers. She's just stalling, and Dale tells this depressing story about his family, and it's just like, oh man, COVID's bad enough, all right? Can you guys cheer up a little bit? You're supposed to be in love or something. It's super romantic, but it's also kind of boring. It's like a weird mix of both because it's not like normally if this happens after some big build up, it's like, oh, wow, it finally happened. But it's like been implicit and obvious from day one. So it's like, again, the show is just rounding this same corner over and over every episode. I'm watching the boring part of a relationship in real time. I've seen this episode of Bachelorette and I've seen the Ben Affleck J-Lo motion picture Gigli. I think maybe more stuff happens in Gigli than happens in this episode of The Bachelorette. That's where we're at right now. So just the boring continues. Dale is chosen and he's miraculous and special to Claire. Claire goes to tell the other guys how she really feels. The other guys are not happy. That's it. That's all that happens. And it takes like 50 minutes to get through. The best part is the one guy who's like, I'd say this is all crazy if it wasn't 2020, but this is all crazy. Ah! So what's going on now is kind of insane. So Claire basically said, I'm quitting the show. I know who I want. Final answer right now. And they're like, okay, then I guess it's the end of the season somehow. So you two have to, have this moment where you're supposed to get married. She's like, oh, wait, I forgot. Okay, then we'll get married. She's like, oh, wait, he has to propose to me. I hope he wants to. Like, from a strategy perspective, she went heart first, head dead last. After like 45 minutes of stalling and beating around the bush, Dale finally proposes to Claire, and they kiss. Hooray. Wow, the most obvious ending that we all predicted from the start actually happened. What a shocker. The happiest day of Claire and Dale's life, and the boringest day of everyone else's. Claire and Dale are happy. They ride off into the sunset. It's kind of a weird, awkward thing where everyone's like, fine, leave. We don't even want you, whatever. And then Chris goes to talk to the guys, and the guys are all like, I'm still sad, man. And Chris is like, well, maybe we'll get you a new girlfriend. Hint. But you got to decide tonight whether you're staying or going. Are you too butthurt or do you want to keep dating? And it's like, they jettisoned Claire so quick. Like, she's no longer in the picture. It's just like, bye-bye. It's like, I guess she found love. Thanks a lot, Claire. Chris Harrison sounds like Trump. He's like, you guys got cheated. You didn't have an honest chance. We need a recount. Recount on Claire. Recount. From now on, it's the Bachelorette do-over. Do-over! The guy who looks like Sugar Ray just said, I like that we don't know nothing about her. I like it better that way. He's like, what is he talking about? Yeah, I like to pretend they ain't even human. The new Bachelorette is Tayshia, and she is fine. Tayshia looks exactly like Beyonce mixed with J-Lo. Holla! It's weird that they stalled for so long on the Claire and Dale finally being together. I feel like they should have covered that in like the first 15 minutes of the show, because the clip they played over the credits of them together was the most charismatic they've ever been, because they could just be themselves. And all of the like emotional tension and forcing them to be together, it just like totally ruined what I think would have been a nice love story otherwise. So I don't know whose fault that is. It's everybody's fault, because this show's insane. But I would say that episode would have been like a 4 out of 10, if not for the last 10 minutes when Tayshia shows up and it's like actually exciting, and it's like it's totally weird that they're just going all in. It's like, it's about your guys. I'm sorry you got cheated. You Claire, really effed you guys over. So yeah, it's a weird show. I don't know why. I feel like it was like it was like 80% really, really lousy, and then like 20% at the end it was like, oh, that's kind of juicy. So I'm gonna watch the next one at some point, and I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you abreast. That came out wrong.